Gavin Newsom would have you believe that Trump is destroying the White House. That is the new narrative that Gavin Newsom is actually posting right now on Twitter and trying to claim that Trump is in some way destroying the entire building in every way and completely spreading false lies, and especially considering the fact that he is doing some of the stuff himself, but in a way worse way. So we'll get into that, but first, remember to like this video and to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. So let's go ahead and jump into this one. This is the post that Gavin Newsom posted on Twitter saying that Donald Trump does not want you to see this picture. He's literally destroying the White House, followed by this photo of the construction that is happening at the White House. Now, many people are trying to dissect exactly what's going on here. Like, why is this part of it destroyed? Of course, what they're doing is showing you a very deceptive picture of what's happening to the White House. What Trump is doing is actually upgrading a specific wing of the White House and making an addition to it effectively. That's what's going on. Very simple, nothing crazy. This is nothing new. Obama did renovations to the White House. A lot of presidents have done this. This is nothing new at all, and perfectly, by the way, within his right to do so. So the left-wing party is trying to say, well, what he's doing is destroying the historical wing. Come on. Does that really make any sense? Does it really make sense that Trump's destroying a historical wing of the White House when he's the one that restored all the history in the White House in the first place that, you know, the previous administration literally just got rid of? I mean, his first mission was to basically hang very important presidents back on the wall in the Oval Office and doing other things that was bringing history back to the White House. So why would he destroy the historical wing? That doesn't even make any sense. Now, this is the actual photo that they're not showing you, the actual top-down view of the White House. And as you can see, there's the West Wing, you have the main part of the White House that everybody's familiar with, and then there's the East Wing section, and then there's kind of this area that's like kind of a covered area right here, right? Well, you can see the little walkway, and what they're doing is actually taking this part out, and they're going to add on to this. So they're pretending as if they're getting rid of this entire East Wing, and not even actually showcasing what's actually happening. So they're saying he's destroying the White House and showing this deceptive photo that looks like he's destroying the main building or something. And no, it's just a little covered area. There's nothing historical in this whatsoever. And they're making an addition. So they're improving the White House, actually. But what they're also not telling you is that Trump is paying for this out of his own money. That's what they're not telling you, that this is Trump's own money paying for these types of renovations. And what Gavin Newsom is, of course, trying to hide from everyone else and not tell you is that he is doing his own demolition somewhere else, actually in California, at the California Capitol. And guess what? This one is not from his own pocket. Of course it's not, even though he could probably totally afford it. It's actually coming straight out of the taxpayers' fund, okay? $1.6 billion expansion in California right now at the control of Gavin Newsom. He's the one that is controlling this, that wanted this to happen, and you can see this taking place. This is 100% taxpayer funded. So this is a video talking about that in a little bit more detail.
Beams are up and construction is underway on the Capitol Annex project. The $1.1 billion construction and counting will eventually house the offices of lawmakers, the governor, and lieutenant governor. It'll cost about as much as Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara and more than the Golden One Center in Sacramento. But we still don't know why or how the money is being spent.
Motion passes.
The legislature's Joint Rules Committee overseeing the project still won't give a public update, even though lawsuits against it have been over for 6 months. Information has been tough to get. As we reported last year, more than 2,000 people involved in the project signed non-disclosure agreements, legally requiring some lawmakers, government officials, and others to keep quiet about what's going on. The cost estimate has more than doubled since 2018, and the NDAs are still in place.
I think this building is already a tremendous strain on taxpayers. And at the end of the day, it's been gone about in a way that has lacked transparency at every step of the way.
The main way we're able to get information lately is through leaks. The latest, the new building will have private hallways for lawmakers, allowing them to avoid the public and media after they debate and vote in hearing rooms. Multiple sources told KCRA3 the leader of the state Senate, Mike McGuire, confirmed this to a room full of lobbyists earlier this month. He would not do an interview, but confirmed this in a statement. He called the hallways, quote, safe corridors, claiming they have them now in their temporary office building. He said they are, quote, designed to help ensure the safety and security of lawmakers, which is even more important today, given the events that unfolded on January 6th at our nation's Capitol building and the active threats public officials continue to face.
Of course, notice how he brings up January 6th, not Charlie Kirk actually being out there speaking to people, right? These are the type of people that are trying to do something that they should not be doing. That's what's happening. Right. This is a project that's been taking place for many years at this point. And what they're trying to do is cover up what's happening. The NDAs, everything about this is not transparent because the money's not right. Clearly, they do this all the time. They pass some bill and you have to ask yourself, how does this benefit anybody in California? Like, does this actually make anything better? Does this benefit the taxpayer? It's their money that is being used to go to stuff like this. Does this benefit them in any way? Because clearly all it's doing is lining their own pockets, making themselves feel more special, where they can basically take away your rights, make stupid voting decisions, and walk away scot-free without you knowing, without you being able to contact them or say something to them. They can just run off in their little hallway away from everybody. This does nothing but protects them. Right? What Trump is doing is actually adding on something like a ballroom or something like that that's actually benefiting like what he's doing. He's having events and things like that that are going on in the White House to give people more space for the things that are happening so they can invite more people in to be more transparent. The Trump administration has been transparent. They do the meetings, the board meetings where everybody can see everything and hear everything that's being discussed, where they're trying to hide. They're literally trying to hide behind everything with this building. So it's designed to protect them. It's not designed to benefit the taxpayers in any way. And all this does is allows them to make even dumber decisions and votes and the wrong way, things that obviously are against the people of California, and then run away and hide in the little corridor that is at the taxpayers' expense. That is the craziest stuff that you can possibly see, and it's all taking place in California. So Gavin Newsom trying to own Trump in this is absolutely ridiculous when he's doing something far worse himself and is continuing to do it. And of course, with that, they're claiming, well, Trump is ruining the White House. We don't do that. Well, this video says otherwise. Check this one out. So you literally have the White House covered in the stalks there, covered, or the columns, covered in rainbow colors, and holding a whole concert in the front here. How is this not defacing the White House? I think this is far worse than somebody that's trying to actually make an upgrade to the building instead of somebody that's just treating it as their rainbow event that they can pull off whenever they want. And remember this, Biden, June 2024, more rainbow colors on the front of the White House, and then Trump, completely different, red, white, and blue. The only colors that need to be on the White House in any way. Of course, The View loses their mind over everything. And of course, they had to lose their mind over this as well.
I tell you, that's a wonderful welcome, but you're not going to like what we're about to tell you. Because you know who is still bulldozing ahead with building a White House ballroom that no one voted for, no one asked for, and once again, it's promises made and promises broken.
But who needs to ask for it? I mean, who needed to vote for it? She's saying it as if this was a taxpayer-funded thing. It's not. It's his own money. So it doesn't matter who voted for that or not because it's not their money. So I don't understand why this matters. Once again, Gavin Newsom can do whatever he wants to do. So why? And he didn't check. He didn't go through the voters to make sure. Come on.
Take a look.
It won't interfere with the current building. It'll be near it, but not touching it, and pays total respect to the existing building, which I'm the biggest fan of. It's my favorite. Right behind us, we're building a ballroom. They've wanted a ballroom for 150 years, and I'm giving that honor to this wonderful place. Right on the other side, you have a lot of construction going on, which you might hear periodically. You're going to see a ballroom the likes of which I don't think it'll be topped.
Okay.
So what's wrong with that? I literally, what is wrong with him wanting to do that? And you hear the respect in his voice. Now, they're obviously probably going to pin this as, well, he's just disrespecting his building and whatnot, but he clearly cares. It's like, hey, people have wanted this as far as like, other presidents and things like that for years. Like this is going to respect what is already there, not to take away from it. But watch them try to frame this as something else.
Okay. That is not your building.
Correct.
You don't own that building.
So Obama, Biden, all the people who sat there redecorating, Obama put in his own basketball court. That's not his own building. I don't understand. But once again, you don't think Trump doesn't understand that? Of course he does. He literally said that. This is paying respect to this building. This isn't, hey, I'm just doing this because I just want this thing like a basketball court that no one else can enjoy. This ballroom is designed so that more people can go in there when they hold events. They don't have enough space for the amount of people that they want to invite. What's wrong with that? That benefits more than just him, unlike a basketball court. Again.
That would be like me going over to Trump Tower and saying I'm going to build a disco. You know, they've wanted a disco in Trump Tower for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, come on, man.
But you don't live in Trump. This is a terrible analogy. I mean, what is wrong? How much mental illness do you need to have to think this is a good analogy? You don't. If a committee voted you to be in charge or run Trump Tower, then you'd be able to do that. And guess who voted for Trump to be in charge of the White House in the country? The majority of people. I mean, it doesn't get more simplistic than that. This analogy makes no sense.
Man, you don't own that building. That is the people's building. You don't own it.
And the majority of people voted for Trump. I know this is hard for them to understand, but that's what happened.
Let's sing it.
What? You don't own it. You cannot take it down. You don't own it. Take your behind to another time.
Yeah, there's enough of that. I'm sorry for having to put you through that. That's crazy, right? I mean, I don't understand how this show is still in the air. This is the worst argument I've ever seen in my life. And they just ignore everything that's happened. And we still have to go back to the Gavin Newsom situation. How is that benefiting anybody? It literally says that, hey, this is for us to be able to make terrible decisions and escape and run away from the public and run away from the media so that we don't have to talk to you. We don't have to see you. When we do something that hurts the voter, we're going to be able to run away and no one will be able to talk to us at all. That's what Gavin Newsom is doing. And oh, by the way, you can't talk about it. No one can say anything about what's going on. Significantly more expensive and literally coming out of the taxpayer's dollar. And the other thing, too, is that she's missing the fact that Trump is paying for all of this. If her analogy made any sense and you were to line this up, she would be in the situation where, hey, if you wanted to renovate Trump Tower, she's saying, hey, look, you know what? First of all, the board by majority needs to vote me in control of Trump Tower, and I would be paying out of my own pocket to do it. Do you see what I'm saying? If she framed it the correct way, that's what she would be saying, but her analogy wouldn't work, so she has to lie. Because otherwise, yeah, if the board voted you in control of Trump Tower, and if you paid with your own money to do the renovations, I don't think they're really going to care, right? Because that's what happened, and that's what's happening with Trump. So the View always just absolutely insane in every take that they have. So let me know what you think down in the comments. What do you think about the White House edition? What do you think about what Gavin Newsom's doing in California? Do you think that's right? Do you think these buildings should even be remotely funded by taxpayer dollars? I don't think they obviously do, but let me know what you guys think down in the comments. But with that being said, I will catch you guys on the next one.